All right, we're live. So I'm just going to apologize in advance. My voice is absolutely shot. Absolutely shot. And it's because I've been talking all day. All day. Phone calls, been talking with customers, explaining what's going on. Hello, Edgar. How's it going? Shane Smith, Zachary Johnson. How's it going, guys? Hope you're having a good night. This is very informal, very going to be a little laid back, We're going to relax. We're going to have, at least I need a beverage. I don't know about you guys. But, yeah, definitely going to need a beverage for this one. We're going to talk about what's going on. We're going to talk about Massachusetts. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in LA and all around the country, really. Good evening, everyone. Billy, there has to be something we can still do. Doesn't it seem like what Baker did to us today is against the law? How can you just shut businesses down like that with no warning? I'm sure lawsuits will be filed, but until something moves forward with lawsuits, the ban still goes on. And that right there is going to be the reason that shops close. So, no matter what, it doesn't matter. We can fight back, and we can win. But the businesses will still close in the meantime. So, yeah. It sucks. This sucks. This is a nightmare. It sucked before when Michigan went down and when New York went down, but hitting this close to home, hitting my home, hitting my livelihood, it's affecting my business already. Not my personal, it's not my business, but I work at a shop. I work at a vape shop. So it's rough, man. This is really rough. It's crazy. So let me just read real quick for anyone that doesn't know what's going on. For anyone that is unaware, Baker declares public health emergency, orders 4-month ban on all vaping products. This is from the Boston Globe. And if my browser would let me scroll here, let's go. What's going on? It doesn't even want me to read it. Come on. Scroll down. No? Yeah, no warning, no nothing. I thought we might have been okay because... Let's reload the page. Oh, there it goes. I thought we might have been okay because I figured, we would hold out and wait until Tobacco 21 takes place and, see if that works for us. But nope, just straight up, boom. It's a domino effect. Anyways, let's read this article as quickly as possible. Facing an explosion of vaping-related illness, Governor Charlie Baker took aggressive action Tuesday, ordering a 4-month ban on the sale of all vaping products in Massachusetts in what is the most sweeping prohibition targeting electronic cigarettes in the United States. Congratulations there, Charlie. You did it. You won. You did the most aggressive thing possible. So you were the first one to be that aggressive. Good job. Baker's decision to declare a public health emergency and apply the ban to both tobacco and marijuana vaping products. Tobacco and vaping, that's worded weird. Quickly reverberated through the country, drawing praise from concerned medical professionals and consternation from the fledgling legal cannabis industry. And, the 10 million vapors. There's that too, but... whatever. The ban, which is the state's public health council, quickly approved Tuesday, took effect immediately, and will last through January 25th, though Baker and the council could choose to extend it. It includes both flavored and unflavored vaping products and applies to both online and retail sales. The Baker administration stressed that the decision is intended to allow the medical community and federal officials time to investigate what's driving the spike in illnesses, which have been tied to 9 deaths and 530 cases nationwide. Massachusetts officials have reported 61 possible cases in the state as of Monday, a jump from 38 just last week. Baker pointed to a Friday meeting with doctors and medical professionals as a motivation to take action, saying he found their experiences treating patients deeply troubling. He described a complicated, multifaceted problem that raises many questions, from what types of additives are to blame for the current outbreak to even what parts of electronic cigarette devices, which typically heat liquid with battery-activated coils, may be helping drive it. One of the experts said that we don't have time to wait. People are getting sick and the time to act is now. I couldn't agree more, the Republican said at a state house news conference with state health officials and doctors. So the article goes on. I'm going to I'm not going to go on any further from that. I figure that catches people up pretty good. But this is it, guys. We are facing prohibition. Literally, we are on the brink of full-scale nationwide prohibition. Mass is gone. Now we're looking at California. We've got Illinois. Let's see, who else is getting all the master settlement agreement money? If you look at the stats, if you look at the numbers, just go down the list of recipients of master settlement agreement money, and that's directly correlated to the states that are banning e-cigarettes and flavors and all this. I mean, there's no hiding it. I mean, it's not even close. It's like, okay, yeah, California, boom. Michigan, yup. Massachusetts, yup. New York, yup. They're among the top of the list. And to not see that tie is to put the blinders on and be completely it doesn't make any sense. Anyone that doesn't see that correlation just isn't looking hard enough. And I literally just got back in from the shop, and it was crazy at the shop today. Let's just take a little break. Let's have a quick vape break. And then we'll talk about my personal experience and how my day went. We'll talk about that. So everyone just grab your vape. Just have a vape. For me. I think we all need it. And actually, Colt's mom's brings up a very good point, which we will get to in just a little bit here. So, how my day went. Get in work at noon, and my coworker says that there's going to be a hearing at 2. So I said, okay, we're waiting till 2. Meanwhile, I'm trying to pay as much attention to what's going on in LA as I can. There was a hearing in LA for a citywide ban. And there was also I don't know what you even call it, symposium or some sort of thing on vaping at the State House as well. So I was kind of like going back and forth trying to listen to as much as I could from those two meetings. And, I've also heard Illinois was thinking about it, and I was expecting them any minute to start a press conference. Also, New Jersey had a thing today as well, a meeting today. So literally, there was so much going on today, it was unreal. Like, I didn't know which way to look. I had all my devices going with different live streams, and I'm like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and just to try to figure out what's going on. My head was spinning. So 2 o'clock rolls around, and I tune in to the press conference. And so it began. The same old song and dance, the same speech we've heard over and over again, protecting the kids, We have to do something about this. We don't know what's in it. It's the same rhetoric that we've been hearing time and time again. And nothing changes. You know, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And that is so true. Because he literally said, we don't know what's in them. Yes, we do. For the love of God, we know what's in e-cigarettes. Well, they can contain bad things like heavy metals and blah, 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 blah. Show me. What are they basing this off of? What emergency situation is this causing? I mean, can you please tell me that you're not basing this off of 60 people getting sick over this mystery illness? You call a state emergency over that? How about we talk about the opioid epidemic, the crisis that's going on right now in our state, where people are dying every single day of opioid addiction and opioid overdose? That's so much more of a health risk. Or is it because they're less than favorable people? You know, is it because they're not going to vote for you? Maybe there's that. So he carries on with the whole spiel. He's got two other people up there with him. And I'll be honest with you guys, I couldn't even pay attention to what was going on, who was talking. All I know was that I was literally witnessing a new era of prohibition in my state. It was going down. And when he first said all out ban, I almost broke down because that's it. We had a good run. And I mean, it kind of had flashes in my head of how things used to be. You know, going to small town vape meets in a little dive bar, meeting up with my friends, and my friends were the vaping public, you know, back 6-7 years ago was a very mixed variety of individuals. You know, there was me, I was probably the youngest in the crowd. There was some career smokers there that were, you know, 30-40 year smokers. They get off smoking by vaping and they want to shout it to the rooftops and tell the world about it. But you know, we got together, we met up, we traded e-liquids, we traded coils, we traded vape gear, we hung out and vaped, talked about vaping. And those were the good times. That was the heyday of vaping for me, where I could just freely and openly talk about how great this is with some like-minded individuals. And nothing was banned. Everyone had fun. No one was talking about helping the kids and saving the kids and all this stuff. There was no talk of that, not even a mutter. So flash forward, sitting there watching my state ban vaping outright. All flavors, all products. And hearing stories of, even up to the minute, like couple minutes after the press conference ended, hearing stories of state police entering vape shops to force compliance. It's almost unthinkable. I just imagine, you know, what kind of world we live in, where we are forced to submit and comply on a whim to the higher powers who have our best interests in mind. That's bullshit, if you ask me. If they really had our best interests, they would learn. They would figure it out. I mean, how long does it take to figure out, like, how long does a toxicity report take, really? And not to mention the facts that we're learning currently from the CDC. The CDC even says that there was a pretty high percentage. I can't remember the specifics off the top of my head. You can actually go check out the report. Just type in CDC, mystery lung illness, and all that. It'll come up, and it'll say the actual number, the percentage of people that have admitted to using THC black market cartridges. And there's a very high percentage that they use those. And there's a few that don't admit to it. And we don't know whether or not that correlates to, well, it was something else they were vaping, or if they just aren't admitting it. And that's the real problem we're facing. And I see a lot of you guys saying MSA, yes, we all know this. We all know this. It's the MSA money. And it's totally bypassing what we stand for as a country. You know, freedoms and liberty don't matter anymore. It's literally whoever has the most money to line the pockets of the corrupt politicians. And sadly, we're outnumbered at this point. We are a mom and pop, ground up, grassroots industry. Started in basements and stuff like that, where people were making e-liquids to share with their friends and consume themselves. Next thing you know, a couple years later, they have a full-fledged business. They are operating in a lab, and they are submitting recipes for approval to the FDA, which, I mean, even in the hope that they could pass, even at the cost of $1 million per SKU. And now we are literally having state troopers enter businesses and make sure they're not selling flavors, because the second they signed off on this emergency ruling, that's it. It was over. Massachusetts is done. And you know what? If you're in the surrounding states and you think you're going to get away from it, Connecticut, Rhode Island, definitely next on the list. Today, Cuomo was meeting with the governor of Connecticut and discussing this. Connecticut's next. I wouldn't be surprised if Connecticut ends up doing this by the end of the week. If flavors last longer than the end of the week for Connecticut, I will be very shocked. Rhode Island, it's going to fall too. Especially if Connecticut goes. If Connecticut goes first, Rhode Island will topple so fast. I just have to gather my thoughts for a second, you guys. I do apologize. But hey, we have 122 people watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm just spilling my guts out all over the place. And we're not even all the way through my day yet. Let me just tell you that. Ken, I very much appreciate that. Mogs was there in the early days. He knows how good everything was. It's so sad. It's very depressing. It's very sad. And, you know, it also affects me in a lot of other ways, because how the hell am I supposed to put on a smile on my face and do a normal happy-go-lucky review video when this is going on? It's not possible. And that's why you haven't seen content on my channel for the past few days. And you might not see content on my channel for the next few days, because not only has the shop been absolutely swamped, and especially tomorrow when our shop in Mass can't open its doors. So everyone's going to come to my shop, and they're going to stock up like it's the end of the fucking world. And I'm sorry, I don't normally curse on my channel. I'm usually such a nice, happy-go-lucky guy. But this is it, you guys. This is the end of vaping in Massachusetts. No shop will be able to survive a 4-month ban, let alone an extension. So let's carry on how my day went. So about 2:30-ish, the press conference was over. Already getting stories of the stormtroopers raiding vape shops. And then the phone calls started pouring in. I was on a live stream on Instagram for like an hour or so. And during that time period, I had a couple of customers come in and a couple of phone calls. I say couple, more like 8 phone calls. And every single one of them was asking me, "Oh, well, what's going on? Can I still buy flavors in Connecticut? Can I do this? Can I do that?" Because my shop is 500 yards away from the Massachusetts border. It's probably the closest shop to the border of Mass in existence. So, of course, people from Mass are going to be flooding my shop tomorrow, stocking up and preparing for the end. So, phone call after phone call after phone call after phone call. Same thing every single time. Are you guys open? How many things can I buy? Can I, stock up, do this, do that? Can I still buy flavors? So many questions. And I mean, I did it live on Instagram. You could still watch the replay, but it's mostly just me being on the phone and me trying to calm customers down and, dealing with the grief, I suppose. I had a lot of people from the UK watching at that time, and they were all kind of like, "We are so sorry for you. This sucks. We feel for you." And, in the UK, they have social healthcare. They have nationalized healthcare. So their government pushes vaping as an option to quit smoking. They have a thing coming up soon called Stoptober, where the government tries to tell everyone to quit smoking. And they say, try vaping. It's 95% safer. And in a lot of cases, they'll actually fund some giveaways or, some people to quit smoking or by vaping. They also, sorry, you guys. They have the TPD rules in effect, which is basically they put a cap on their nicotine. So premixed nicotine can only be in 10 ml bottles. So anything with nicotine in it has to come in 10 ml bottles. Their maximum amount of nicotine they can have in their flavors are 20 milligram, and their tank size has to be 2 mil. However, they can sell accessory extended tanks, bubble glass. They can sell that separately. It just can't come in the package for any vape device. Juul's over there. They're trying to make a big thing for themselves over there in the UK, but no one wants them over there. No one really cares. It's not like it is over here. It's not a feeding frenzy where if you have a package of mango pods still and you go to a college campus, you could dangle it and kids will come running. But you got to wonder, why is the government accepting it over there and rejecting it over here? I mean, I could do a whole other show on that. MSA money, big pharma, healthcare industry, etc., etc., etc. It goes on and on and on. The trail of money is 10 miles long. So, phone call after phone call, people coming in, stocking up, spending hundreds of dollars, being very mad and sad and depressed and everything all at once. Lots of emotions going on. Our other shop in Agawam, Massachusetts, is staying open till midnight to try to sell as much as they can before they have to close their doors tomorrow. And it's kind of a mad dash. So I literally had a customer, one particular instance kind of stands out to me. Mass plates comes in. I'm like, oh, I had nothing but mass plates. And yes, Jay Hayes, I am in Massachusetts. And yes, this sucks. So a guy came in with mass plates on his car, and he's just looking around. He's like, yeah, let me get, as much as I can of everything. And I'm like, what do you like? What do you use? He's like, oh, well, I don't even vape, but I like having what the government doesn't want me to have. When they were talking about banning ARs, he went out and bought as many as he could. He said he was a cigar smoker. So he came in and he bought a whole box of Juno pods. He bought 5 packs of Juul pods and a new Juul. He bought Zeus Legend kit. He bought like 600 ml bottles of juice. And he spent over $500 in the shop, and he doesn't even vape. Just because he likes to screw over the government. Which, hey, by all means, you know what? Sometimes you have to just say, fuck you to the government. Sometimes you just got to do it. Jay, I appreciate that, man. This is literally the harshest ban to date. Jersey, I feel for you, bro. I feel for you. You guys got it pretty rough over there as well. And I wasn't even focused on Jersey or LA or anything going on other than my state. And I'm sorry to say that I can't really report too much on those. But I was pretty much just had the blinders on for Massachusetts because that's where I live. And I am ashamed right now for even living in this state and having Charlie Baker as our governor. Completely just ashamed. I'm embarrassed to call myself a Massachusetts resident. And you know what? There's nothing we could have done. Same thing with Michigan, same thing with New York. There's nothing we can do to prevent this. The only thing I can tell you to do at this stage is whatever state you're in right now, call your governor. Meet with him if you can. Get together with other people in your area and go and meet the governor if you have the ability to. And just kind of preemptively just tell them how it's going to affect the state if anything happens to vaping. People are going to go back to smoking. It's going to happen. And I hate that. All the work that I've done over the past 4.5 years, almost 5 years at the vape shop, undone in one day. The people out there that I have gotten off of cigarettes over the past 4.5 years, who have come in struggling, who know me by name, who wait for me to come in for me to recommend them a flavor, to try to get them, try to find them something that'll work for them. All of that undone in one day. And it pisses me off. And it should piss you guys off too, whether you're in Mass or not. We can sit there and we can point fingers, we can play the blame game, we can sit back on our haunches and go, oh, well, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. At the end of the day, the government's going to do what they're going to do. And this is proof right there. This pisses me off. I literally have a woman that's dealing with cancer. Nothing to do with smoking. But she's got breast cancer. And she comes into the shop every couple of weeks. She buys her little tiny bottles of tobacco, tobacco e-liquid. And now she can't even get that. She said, this is the only thing that prevents me from smoking. The only thing. And now she can't get it. And I have to deny a cancer patient something that's going to prevent her from getting lung cancer or throat cancer or mouth cancer. And you know what? I'll bet she goes back to smoking because she was always teetering right on the edge, and I had to baby step her through everything. I had to make sure that her coil was changed. I would have to do it for her. I didn't mind. I had to make sure we had her flavor in stock. And sometimes if she was broke, I just gave her a coil. I said, it's on me. I'd pay for it with my own money out of my pocket. I'm not allowing people to go back to smoking. Can't do it. Jay, what am I going to do for a job? I don't know. My shop is in Connecticut, so I'm safe for another few days until Connecticut's governor decides that he wants to do this too, because that's what everyone's doing. It's the domino effect. It's only a matter of time. And if you think your state is safe, it's not. No one's safe out there. Ohio, Illinois, just basically go down the list of the highest recipients of Master Settlement Agreement money. You're next. So I've been kind of ignoring you guys for a bit, and I do apologize. I'm sorry. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys think. I see Phil mentions the Second Amendment. Hopefully it doesn't go that far. And yeah, talk about a tyrannical government. This is overstepping to the nth degree. Yes, Connecticut is seeing the New York governor, which you know what that means. Yes, I do work at Voltage Vape in Enfield. Come visit. This crap is definitely getting out of control, Scott. Alex, you bring up a good point. There will be a massive black market for e-liquid. I know all of the Massachusetts industries, like anyone that's in Massachusetts currently making e-liquid, doubt they'll stop. They'll probably do it on the black market. Cryptocurrency is big now. Just saying. Let's see. Yeah, it's not just about flavors or kids. It's about jobs. This is affecting my livelihood. I have car payment and rent. I mean, it could come down to me not having a car. Just when my life was getting good. Just when I was about to, be okay. Shopping around for a house and just gets ripped out from underneath me. Now I'm practically looking at being homeless. And I realize that, my shop is in Connecticut and it's not something I'm dealing with right now, but I'm looking at the next couple of days and weeks and I can see it coming. And I'll probably end up doing another one of these streams when it happens in Connecticut because you know what? It's not even a matter of if anymore. It's a matter of when. All right. Fly cope, you get removed. And banned. There you go. You're a douchebag. Yeah, anyone that wants to say anything stupid like that, yeah, you're going to get banned. Just asking for it. Something's got to change. We've got to change this. We have to change the public perception on vaping. And that's part of the thing here. It's not just about the actual bans themselves. It's not about the people going back to smoking. It's not about people losing jobs. It's about public perception of vaping. We're going to lose numbers. People are going to go back to smoking. and people are going to stop fighting. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, do not stop fighting. This is not over. It's never over. And you know what? And everyone seems to think that it's, oh, well, I'll just DIY. I'll do this. I'll do that. It's not about you. It's the bigger picture. You can't just look out for yourself. If you do that, then you're part of the problem. Can't take this lying down. We are bigger and stronger than this. We can overcome this. But tomorrow, it's going to be rough. It's going to be very bad tomorrow. I can tell you that. Things were pretty bad today. Tomorrow is going to be much, much worse. I guarantee I'm going to get so many people coming in from Mass. And the other thing is, even if we make it to October 1st, which I doubt we will in Connecticut, October 1st, Tobacco 21 kicks in Connecticut. So that's that many more customers I'm going to lose anyway. Yvonne says tomorrow is Rhode Island. Are they doing a press conference tomorrow? And yeah, Patrick King says the problem is they're talking about two different things, but they're lumping into one and making poor decisions because they're misinformed and don't want to listen. This is true, but I don't think they care. Look at what Cuomo said. He said, who cares? He said, who cares? That just goes to show that's how all of these people think. That's going through all of their heads. I guarantee it. He was the only one that would actually had the balls to say it. So I want to know in chat if you've been affected by this. If you are out of Mass or any other state that has a vape ban, let me know in chat. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear some of your stories. Anything you want to say on the matter. It's fucking depressing. Gotta love that good old lighthearted Daily Vape TV. Rootin' tootin' all that, you know? It's impossible for me to make videos during this time. I don't know how I'm going to bounce back from this. I don't even know if my packages are going to get seized or not. That's really another thing that I'm dealing with right now too, is if I get a package from China that comes in and it's a vape product, are they going to seize it? Am I even going to be able to get stuff in to review? Is this the actual end? That's what I want to know. Is South Carolina going to be banned? I doubt it. At least not for a while. When it comes down to their time in the list of Master Settlement Agreement money, I'm sure eventually it will, once more than half of the other states go for it. But I feel like down south, there's a lot of tobacco money down there. So don't think you're safe. Chris is in Ohio, and he's worried. And yeah, the government's treating us like 12-year-olds. Alex is on the border, running low, and is going to grab juice this weekend. Well, you might not have time. Billy's in Mass. You need to organize some sort of rally. It's probably going to happen. Just keep your eyes open on Facebook and Twitter and stuff. I'm glad you guys are pissed in Texas, and I mean, you better get mad if you're not mad. That goes for everybody. Berkshire, Mass. It's frustrating. Yeah, I mean, these people are also very much underinformed. They don't know what's going on. They just listen to other people and they go, okay, so people are apparently dying because of vaping. Okay, well, we should ban it. They don't really have any other thought process. There's nothing like, oh, well, how many thousands of people are going to lose their jobs? Or, you know, what about the millions of dollars worth of inventory these shops are carrying right now? You give them less than 24 hours to just get rid of it? How does that make sense? I mean, a lot of you guys are offering the solution of create a black market, which there's going to be a black market. There's going to be sketchy Instagram accounts and all this stuff where people are, you know, DM for info, that kind of thing. But I don't know how much money they're getting to fund the prevention of that. So you better watch it. If you're not too careful, you might get busted. And I mean, that goes for New York and Michigan and everyone else too. Oh, you're in New York? Ooh. Ouch. I feel sorry for you, man. Your governor does not give two shits about you. Whoa, Kentucky company with 6 stores. We have 4 weeks to close up. Holy shit. Do I think Connecticut is next? Yeah. They're meeting with the governor is meeting with Cuomo tomorrow, I believe. It was either today or tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Can't remember. Alex really wants a black market. Pete says went to a mass shop today and talked to a lady who was 62, smoked, had a spot in her lung, started vaping, and the spot went away. And it's banned. Please tell me how that makes sense. Rhode Island is tomorrow, then Connecticut. Yeah. Rhode Island's definitely going to fold. I mean, it's a tiny little state. They can't do anything about it. There's too much pressure. Because if they didn't, oh my God, Rhode Island would be flooded. People would move their shops to Rhode Island or try to. Yeah, Vaping with Vic is very knowledgeable about what's going on here. He's also very knowledgeable in the area of politics, which helps. So it's kind of like everything. Like the European maps are always more accurate for weather, you know? So people outside the US that don't have like a vested interest in what's going on here tend to have a clearer picture of what's going on, what's really happening. It's kind of sad when you have to ask where you go for vaping, you know, whether or not vaping is actually legal where you're going to. Okay, so I'm not even going to touch this one, but if anyone in chat, I'm pretty sure almost any one of you could answer Alex's question in chat. But we're well beyond that. We're well beyond that. So, was there a question? Oh, I might have missed a question about masks here. Colt's mom said, Brian, Mass Governor created the law by executive action because it's a emergency. You forgot the quotes there. You need the quotes. Oh, Steve, you're in Sacramento. Dude, you are on that list for banning. California, you better believe they're going to have citywide bans all over the place. LA is going down. Everywhere is going down. LA just passed a ban as well. And the only reason it's not banned outright in California is because he's being watched right now pretty heavily from Trump. He already stomped down his plan for increasing rules on emissions. So if he ever tried to do anything more statewide using his executive power, then pretty sure it would get stomped out pretty quick. And I really wish that Trump would help us out in this situation, but he has already made it very clear that he is not on our side. We need an injunction. We do need an injunction, but it's still going to mean that everyone's out of business already because that could take months. Illinois is next. Illinois is definitely on the ban list. They receive plenty of money from Master Settlement Agreement. So you better believe they're on the list. Same with Ohio. Yeah, Illinois is screwed. Just like the rest of us. Jason, I appreciate that. You could all have a beverage for Massachusetts tonight. Except for those of you that are sober. I know, Mogs, you don't drink. See? No chance. They gave us no chance. No comment period. No nothing. No formal, not even a little gathering where they sit everyone down and go, okay, you got 3 minutes to talk. Not even that. Not even that. They can't even give us the shred of hope. Literally, press conference, ban, goes into effect the same day. Just mind-blowing that that's even possible. Talk about overstepping. Absolutely mind-blown. And here I am, being selfish and enjoying flavored adult products. Man, but adults don't like flavors, so that's weird. Something we haven't talked about during this stream actually is he also banned Vape Abul cannabis. So some of you might know, some of you might not. Cannabis recreationally is legal in Massachusetts. You have to go to dispensaries to get it. It's very strict, blah, blah, blah. But it's recreationally legal. And it's also legal for out-of-state people as well. So even if you're from Connecticut or anywhere else in the surrounding states, or anywhere for that matter, if you're over 21 and you have a license, you can go in and buy cannabis legally. But they banned Vape Abul cannabis, meaning cartridges. So the legal version of what's causing all these lung problems. He banned everything Vape Abul, basically. He banned everything Vape Abul. Even 0 milligram, even unflavored. If you can vape it, it is banned. That's just mind-blowing to me. So he banned Vape Abul cannabis. And I think one of the people that was at the press conference said, oh, well, we have a structure in place so that, people can find an alternative. We have the quit line that you can call, and we're handing out, stop smoking drugs and Nicorette and all this, like these products. to try to get people to stay off cigarettes, and yet they don't have any clue like that so many people are going back to smoking. So many people have already tried those products. I mean, X1 in chat, if you've ever tried anything other than vaping to quit smoking, and then let me know also if it worked or not. Yeah, asthma inhalers. No more Vicks Vapo Rub either. That's banned. It's really sad. It's really sad. Just the sheer volume of X1s I'm seeing in chat. And also the hell no, it didn't work. It's just so frustrating. Okay, Mogs, that's a little bit too far. Come on. So, I mean, obviously this is a fairly small sample size, but it's proven that those methods are far less effective than vaping. And vaping isn't even marketed as a smoking cessation product. Would you look at that? And I mean, just from the bits of the whatever you want to call it, symposium, what have you, in California today. I gotta hold on. Let me find this. It was like a special session. If anyone has session vaping, if anyone has a link to a good article, man, I'm not finding anything decent here. There was definitely some sort of thing going on today that happened in California, and it was like kind of like a symposium or a panel. It was a special session, and they had some experts testify, and one of the people that was pro-vaping, one of the women that went up to speak, tried her best to defend vaping, and every single time she spoke, they were trying to poke holes in her story. They were trying to discredit her. They were trying to like call her out and stuff. And she tried so hard to defend herself and defend vaping. And at the very end of it, oh my God, I can't remember people's names. I am terrible with names. But at the very end of it, they tried saying like, oh, what's your party affiliation? Like, who do you support for politics? And are you a conspiracy theorist? The woman asked if she was a conspiracy theorist. And she's like, no. Like, she's like, oh, well, why were you winking? You were winking at someone. And she's like, oh, that's my friend. I was just, winking at him. It's like, well, are you a conspiracy theorist? And she kept badgering her about it. Rashida. Yeah. She winked. Winkgate. Let's start that as a trend. Winkgate. What is this country coming to? Judicial Committee hearing. Thank you, Heidi. I'm going to look that up. Judicial Committee hearing. Vaping. Let's see if that does anything. Don't vape. First result, don't vape. Examining the outbreak of lung disease. Oh, God. Great. I'm not finding any articles on it, though. That was 2 days ago. I can't find any recent news. Hey, Swaggins. How's it going, brother? Another mass hole in the house. Hashtag mass hole if you're from Mass. Let's get that going. Yeah, George Washington is turning in his tomb. It's on YouTube. I'm going to have to rewatch that whole thing tomorrow, and I will report back later. I think we're doing a vape stew this Friday. We better do a vape stew this Friday because you'll get a whole bunch of pissed off Nick on vape stew. Look at all the mass holes. Yeah, not proud right now. Rashida Tlaib. I'm terrible with names. Yeah, that was the one that was grilling her. She is a bitch. I can't believe she was grilling her on the whole wink thing. That was ridiculous. Oh, God. No drama in chat, you guys. Come on. We already got rid of one troll. Like, you know, I'm a very calm, cool, and collected person most of the time. But there's that. She crossed the line today, all right? My girl was dropping science, and she was questioning her eye movements. And she was like, I'm not going to sit here and listen to you guys lie under oath and all this. The woman defending vaping was telling everybody how these other people were lying under oath and all this. I was like, oh, you get them. And she tweeted afterwards. She's like, you guys, I tried my best. I think I held my own, but it was everyone against me. And I'm like, she did pretty darn good for what it's worth, you know? I really need a link to that study or that meeting. California judicial. Wow, I can't speak. Committee hearing. Let's see. Man, why can't I find recent news here? Everything is coming up like last week, the week before. Maybe if I look up her name, Rashida Tlaib. Oh, yeah. Here we go. There's a really good article. I'm going to post it in I'll post it in chat here real quick. Witnesses say vaping helped. A witness says vaping helped her quit smoking. Rashida Tlaib asks, "Are you a conspiracy theorist?" Vicky Porter, she's the one that was testifying, and I'm just going to drop the link in chat here. Boom. Go and read that article. House Subcommittee hearing asked the panel's only pro-vaping witness, Vicky Porter, whether she was a conspiracy theorist. Tlaib had apparently noticed Porter winking at one of the Republican participants and thought this was possibly indicative of of something nefarious. Porter patiently explained that she knew this man personally and was just saying hello. Good article. Definitely go check it out. And if you guys don't know already, get on Twitter. Get on Twitter and just follow everyone influential with this on both sides, because it's our job to fight misinformation. We have to work both in educating side of things and the working on public appearance. So we have to be eloquent in our delivery. We can't just say F you, F you, F you all over the place. We need to be eloquent in our speech, and we need to drop facts. They want to hear numbers. They want to hear science, not just, I quit smoking after 10, 15, 20, 25 years. They want to hear bigger picture numbers, projections, when we could actually eliminate smoking. So yeah, we're basically talking about how this is going to affect everything. Miguel, I don't DIY, so I don't know, but I know for a fact that there's a nicotine out there called Smooth. So check that out, I guess. There's literally a nicotine that's like supposed to be smoother than normal Nick. Or at the end of the day, Nick salt works too. You can do 3 milligram Nick salt or 6 milligram Nick salt or whatever you want. But like I said, I don't DIY, so I am the worst person to ask about this. There's whole channels dedicated to DIYing. I would suggest DIY or Die, or maybe even Vape Kitchen with Brian. Is he still doing that? I don't think he's still doing that, but I'm sure it's a playlist on his channel. And yes, Mass definitely sets the tone for a lot of the other states in New England. I have a feeling that all of New England is going to follow suit. I mean, there's just not a whole lot of resistance in the other states. That's part of the thing. I feel like New Hampshire and Vermont could go down overnight. Maine especially. Rhode Island's going to crumble because they're going to be surrounded after... I think Rhode Island's going to fall before Connecticut, in fact. But I feel like Connecticut's definitely going to be very quick to do it as well. Phil says you may want to learn quick. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do. This could be it. Because I don't even think I could get nicotine anymore. I don't think I could have nicotine in its purest form delivered to Massachusetts anymore. Yeah. Pete makes a good point. Says our government doesn't want to get rid of smoking. That's the thing. They want us to smoke. They want us sick. And yes, Fresh 03 is also a good one to check out. I'm pretty sure they've already banned buying from anywhere out of state. Like you can't import, you can't do anything for that. Like they've sealed up all loopholes. This is an outright ban of the industry. It's not just oh, well, you still have tobacco. No, this is an outright ban. And in fact, one of the things that the Surgeon General tweeted today was, well, I don't get it, you guys. Why don't you just try vaping tobacco? And I want to tweet at him right now and be like, so what am I supposed to do? Don't even have tobacco. He's like, oh, well, just vape tobacco. Maybe it's not so bad. I sent him a nice little tweet earlier today with my response to that. I'm telling you guys, Twitter. Can't push that enough. These people read their Twitters. A lot of times their Facebook, their Instagram, all of their social media gets looked at by an aide, maybe. Even in some cases, emails are just an aid, but they actually go on their phone and check their personal Twitters. And sometimes they have multiple accounts. So the Surgeon General has the Surgeon General account and he has a personal account, and he checks both. So follow them, follow the FDA, follow Scott Gottlieb, follow the American Lung Association, American Cancer Society, follow the Truth Initiative. We got to work on the list. I know I mentioned this. We're going to make a list of important Twitter accounts to follow. For the pro-vaping side, obviously Greg Connolly, Safada, Kasa, AVA, Paul Blair. I'm getting all my names mixed up. Hold on. I will check my Twitter right now. Paul Blair. Yeah, it's definitely Paul Blair. Right? And I'm getting stuffed up because allergies are a bitch. Follow Grim Green. He's been very vocal. Brian Focic. He's another one. Very good to follow there. Greg Connolly. Matt from Suck My Mod, for sure. Donald Trump, of course. John Nathan, he's another masshole who's very, very informed. Paul Blart, not Paul Blart. This is like the longest he's gone without tweeting, too. I'm like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I retweet him all the time. NPR did a little thing the other day I had to fight them on. Dr. Oz. I literally spent almost a whole day just blasting Dr. Oz. That was pretty fun. Let's see. I follow a lot of news outlets as well. Washington Post is a good one. CNN, duh. Kind of have to. Eric Vinyl and Vapor. Who else? There's a bunch of people. And, follow the left and the right. Don't just follow one side. You have to hear the opposition. What's his name? Azim Chowdhury. Terrible with names again. He's a lawyer. I think his name on here is the e-cig attorney, something like that. Literally, it's the longest he's gone without tweeting. He must be a busy guy today. Greg is tweeting a lot. Don't know why. Well, in any case, I think his name is Paul Blair. He's the Americans for Tax Reform. He fights all new taxes. So, go him. Best of luck. But yes, you guys, go on Twitter. Seriously, even if you just have to give the anti-vaping people shit, that's fine. But do it in an eloquent, informed way. Don't just go out there and yell and screaming at them. Be informational. Paul Blair, thank you, Mogs. Here I was looking for an hour. And yes, most flavors are just repackaged, repurposed food flavorings. That's where this industry came from. Some guy vaping Lando, yeah. Go follow him on Twitter. Make sure the check clears first. Hold on. Matthew Salter's a good one. Yep. And I wish there was a way I could be like, oh yeah, well, at least we have tobacco. We don't even have tobacco. We literally don't even have the option of tobacco. People in Massachusetts don't have options now. It's literally Chantix, gums, patches, pills, sprays, what have you, or nothing. That's it. Cigarettes. Is this even America? Like, land of the free, home of the brave? No, except if you vape. Not if you vape, then you are oppressed. V says, I'm a pharmacist in Mass who vapes. I like to believe I know more about the health risks of vaping better than these politicians. I mean, yeah, I think we all know more about health risks than the politicians. I think every single one of you guys watching right now knows more than them. And I have a feeling that collectively in this group right now, we probably have about 500 years of vaping amongst us. Personally, I am this close to being 8 years smoke-free because of vaping. My quit date was, I think, November 21st or 22nd, something like that. And I've almost been smoke-free for 8 years. I have had 0 ill effects from vaping. No side effects. No lung disease of any kind. No respiratory infections. No illnesses other than the common cold. And even that, I don't get sick as much as I used to. I'll get allergies this time of year in the spring, but I think in the past 8 years, I've gotten sick less than half the time that I would have if I were still smoking. I used to get sick pretty bad at least twice a year. Like, come down with a pretty bad case of a cold. And now, maybe once a year, if at all. I've literally gone a complete year, without getting sick, without having any sort of illness. And yeah, Voodoo says, guys, do not go back to the analogs. Please don't go back to smoking. I'm urging every single one of you guys. I don't care how difficult it is. Just do anything in your power to not go back to smoking. Beefy says 10 years. Congratulations. Seriously, that's a huge accomplishment. 5 years, JJ. Congrats. No cigarettes since December 25th, 2015. Joel, awesome. Keep up the good work. Lando's close to his 3rd year, March 3rd, 2017. Very cool, my dude. They needed an excuse for the flavor ban, and now they have it. Yeah, they saw any attempt that they could to strike, and here it is. And I mean, we're not going to talk about conspiracy theorists or anything like that in this stream, but you got to think for a second about this. It's much, 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 much deeper than the surface. Follow the money. Do some homework. Tony, the Agawam shop is closed. After tonight, it's open till midnight, and that's it. Because we cannot sell flavors. It is against the law to sell flavors in Massachusetts tomorrow. Yep, you heard me right. Tony says 12 years thanks to vaping. Andy's on 5.5. Going on year 3. Kip, congratulations all you guys. Online sales are not allowed in Mass. That's part of it. 7 years. Pete's on 7 years on December 12th. Yvonne's on 6 years. Congratulations, Yvonne. Four years, Gregory Brown. Cheech is on 5.6. 5.6, that's an interesting number. Faceless Vapor says 4 years for me next month. Congrats. Derek is on 6 years. Last 3 have been working at a smoke outlet where you can still smoke in. That's interesting. Been trying to inform people since I started. That's good. It's really good. Jason Parker, 4 months cig free. Wish you found vaping sooner. Hell yeah, dude. I wish I could have been one of the ones that never smoked. I wish I never picked up smoking in the first place. I'm sure everyone out there can agree with me on that. Okay, that one's getting deleted there, Cheech. But yeah, I wish I never picked up a cigarette in the first place. I started smoking because peer pressure. I was at a party. I wanted to try it. One of my friends had one, and I lit it up. And the rest from there is history. I kept doing it, even though I didn't particularly enjoy it. Kept doing it because my friends did it. And I ended up smoking for over 7 years. Which I regret every single day. I made every excuse not to quit. And finally, vapor products got better. And I tried for real. I gave it a good shot, and I was able to quit almost overnight. I had 3 more after I actually quit. The 3 that were left in my pack, because all of my batteries, I had 4 Sig-Like 510 batteries, and all 4 of them were dead. And I had 3 cigarettes left in the pack, and I smoked all 3, and that was it. Once I charged those batteries, I never looked back. So I just, my mind is completely blown because there's the youth today have this option of never smoking. You know, for me, it wasn't really an option. Like, e-cigarettes weren't even a thing when it was my turn to start smoking. So I smoked cigarettes. And I just imagine this world where you have this option of vaping when you're a young person, and how much more attractive vaping is than smoking. And people wonder why they choose it over cigarettes. And I mean, I'll admit, I believe that vaping is the new smoking, but I speak like that in a good way, in a positive way, because at the very least, we know that it's a less harmful way to get nicotine. And I'm not in favor of youth vaping, but I will say publicly that I definitely support not only a kid that was trying to quit smoking by vaping that's underage, and I would much rather see a young person pick up vaping over smoking. That's it. But would I rather them do nothing? Of course. But let's be honest, we were all kids once, and you're going to do dumb shit. Tony Laura, that's very impressive, my dude. Quitting 2 vices on the same day. That's not easy. I find it difficult to do videos. I'm really struggling to even contemplate doing a video because it's not important right now. I'm trying to focus on what's important. And at this point in time, nothing else is important to me than helping my customers and making sure the facts are straight. We need to inform the masses on what's going on. And it's just so frustrating that this is happening to us. It's maddening. I'm to the point that I just want to quit. I want to stop. I want to give up. I want to just lay down and just stop. But I can't. I cannot let that happen. I cannot let this die without me going down fighting. And everyone else that's in a state that's banning flavors, I feel for you. I really do. I mean, it's just now getting real. And that's the worst. But I'm going to call it here, guys. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for hearing me out. Thanks for hearing my story. I'll keep you guys as updated as possible. And even if it comes down to me just going live or something like that, I'm going to try to maintain some semblance of normality with this here. I'm going to try to keep pushing forward. And I really want to get some positive content up for you guys. I really want to get some videos out for you guys. Because we have to move forward. We have to keep going. We have to just keep being ourselves, because once we change who we are and what we do, then they win. So I'll just leave it at that. Take from that what you will. I'm going to go I might jump on Twitch for a little bit. I don't know. I'm thinking about jumping on Twitch. If anyone cares to watch me play some video games, I think I need that sort of relaxation for now. Stay tuned. I'm trying my best to stay positive. I'll try to get some content out this week. But it's just a very sobering thing that's happening right now. And it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. But with that, guys, take it easy. Stay strong. Keep fighting. Join Twitter. Give them shit. Give them hell. And never stop. Never give up. Never say die. As always, vape on.